Hello, everybody. This is your boy, Truck, coming from a place somewhere in the universe. Here at the King's Table, we talk about it. Something that's been on my spirit. I just want to share with my brothers and my sisters as I sip on my ginger root tea. Something that's been in my spirit that I just want to share, if I may. And having time to reflect, I'm going to shift things a little bit as I adjust my mic. I'm going to shift things a little bit and really share what has been in my spirit these past few weeks. There has been a shift in the atmosphere. What kind of shift? Here it is. When you look at self and you examine yourself, there are different things that come about in self-reflection. And I just want to expound on that for a second, what self-reflection really means. And how, when you do have self-reflection, how important it is. Certain things are going to line up. Certain things are going to happen. Some will have favor. Some will have disappointments. Some will have fear and concern. Time to reflect gives us the opportunity to examine areas where we need the most work at. It has been said, we do not know the time nor the hour in which our Messiah is coming. Stay ready so that we don't have to get ready. But having the mindset to change, doing something different that you've never done in order to have something that you never had but always wanted. And I'm going to go into a couple of scriptures and kind of dive in a little bit, kind of tap in a little bit, if I may. Because in this time, there's a lot of fear. A lot of people are scared. But I'm here to tell you, you have nothing to fear about. You have nothing to be scared about. You know why? Because our Most High has us covered. For the scripture says, God's Spirit doesn't make us scared. It doesn't make cowards out of us. But the Spirit gives us power and self-control. We got to have self-control in these times. As I'm talking, I'm also listening. I'm also taking in some things. Because at the end of the day, kings and queens, who do you have a relationship with? Who do you have a relationship with? That's what it comes down to. Your relationship. Knowing who you are and whose you are. And operating in your truth. Operating here and in here. And in this daily life that we live, and yes, we're going to have some storms. Storms will come. However, another question. What are you willing to do in the midst of a storm? Philippians 4:6 says, don't worry about anything, but pray about everything. With thankful hearts, offer it up to prayer, and your requests to the Most High God. Here's the thing. I can go on and on and on. Even Philippians 4:7 says, then because you belong to the Most High, Yeshua HaMashiach, Elohim will bless you with peace that no one can completely understand. And this peace will control the way you think and feel. Now listen closely when it says here, he gives you the peace, the type of peace that no one can understand. Isn't that amazing, kings and queens? I mean, we're talking about no one can understand. No one's going to understand why you praise the way you praise, why you worship the way you worship. No one is going to understand why you do what you do. No one is going to understand your relationship with the Most High Yah. I always tell people when they ask me, say, Truck, how do you feel about what's going on in the world? I always tell people you don't want to hear the truth, because when you know what you know, sometimes it's best to keep your mouth shut. Because not everybody want to receive the truth. And not everybody is going to receive the truth for that fact, for that matter. But for me and my household, we gonna give honor, glory, and praise where it's due. Give credit where credit is due. We need that time to reflect. We need that time. Because one of the best choices and decisions one could make is to make changes within self. I can go on and on. I'm going to read a couple of more scriptures. Let's go to Psalms 56:3. For Psalms 56:3 says, but when I'm afraid, I keep on trusting you. I love that scripture because that fits me. I was afraid. I really was. I was afraid. Without going in too much of detail, 2019, I was afraid. But I knew I had to trust him. Because I was in a storm. I was in a fight. You don't never know your character, the type of character you have, until you end up in the storm, until you end up in the fight. I don't know who I'm talking to out there in Facebook land, but I'm sharing what has been in my spirit. Someone needs to hear a word. One of the things I love about Coach G, AFE, Team USA, I love the terminology together. And then he follows up with impact. Making an impact in someone's life. And I always thought that was phenomenal. For him to structure his words like he does. And much love and respect to Coach G and Mrs. G and the whole AFE Team USA family. I love y'all. I love my brothers and my sisters. Let me continue. Psalms 34:4 says, I asked the Lord for help, and he saved me from all my fears. What type of fears have you been dealing with? What type of shifting are you experiencing in your journey? That was one of the reasons why I came up with the King's Table. When you start growing, you will become the head of your table, always and forevermore. Don't never let no one stop you or tell you different. Once again, here we are. Your relationship, your prayer life has to line up. Your relationship with the Most High, Yeshua, has to line up. If it doesn't line up, there is a problem. If you're falling to the ways of the world, there is a problem. If you're putting your faith and your trust in man, there is a problem. If you're not getting that word in you and keeping it in you, there is a problem. If you're not where you should be or where you need to be, there's a problem. It has to line up, kings and queens. It has to. One more scripture. Joshua 1:9 says, respect and obey the Lord. This is the beginning of knowledge. Only fools reject wisdom and good advice. Respect and obey the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Only fools reject wisdom and good advice. That's what we're seeing today. Let's recognize the elephant in the room. That's what we're seeing today. I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but I wanted to share what's in my spirit. I love all people. I hold no grudges, no bad blood. I hold no anger towards no one, even those that have done me wrong and those that have hurt me. Because I have forgiveness. I've learned to trust him even in the midst of my storms. I've learned to trust him in those lonely nights where I was afraid. I've learned to trust him when others turned their back. I've learned to trust him when there was a shift taking place in my life. I've learned to trust him. And I guarantee you, he has not let me down yet. He has put me in an amazing position, an awesome career, in a position to impact others' lives, to share my testimony, to pray for others. And it's a beautiful feeling when you can impact a person's life and then that same person comes back and tell you, thank you, because it was something you said that pierced my heart. It was something you said that stood out to me. Until then, shalom.